Live streaming in a studio has a number of variables that can be controlled. You can control the sound in a studio. You can control the lights that you have on a subject in the studio. Live streaming mobile is a whole nother bag of cats. Let's explore what it might take to go with a mobile live stream today on My Favorite Things. I know of a group local to me that is doing a step class at a park under a pavilion. They can't control the sound, they can't control the lights, but they've managed to pull it off, and with the right equipment, you can too. Let's look today at my mobile live streaming bag. Most of what I use to live stream is found in this case. We'll work our way from top to bottom as we look at what is found here. The most common purchase after a good solid camera is sound equipment. You want to be able to get a sound to your stream that is consistent, and relying on the built-in microphones of your camera is not always the best. So I did go ahead and invest in the Saramonic Blink 500. It comes with a receiver and 2 transmitters. I also have the Rode Wireless Go that I'm actually using for sound on this particular video. It has only 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. You can't pair more than 1 transmitter to a receiver at any given time. But it does have a lower latency than the Saramonic Blink 500 system. And so I prefer it on some cases, and I use the Saramonic on others. This Saramonic system also comes with the lavalier mics, 1 for each transmitter. In these smaller places, I keep an extra micro SD card just in case. This is a simple dongle that goes from a lightning port to a headphone jack. That's probably a TRRS there. If I want to put one of the other microphones that I have into my iPhone, if I'm using that to stream. On this side of the case, you can see that I have a couple of charging cords. These are both USB-C cords that I use to make sure everything is charged. I have this handy little tripod top. It is a Giotto, and it allows me to change the angle of whatever camera I have in case I have a tripod or a monopod that doesn't have the ability to change the angle. So I keep that as well. Inside this zipper, you can see that I'm going to have a few other things like an adapter, USB-C to TRRS. That allows me to use this inexpensive lavalier microphone to have sound directly into my iPad. If I'm using the iPad as my streaming device, my control device, then I can use this setup to get sound that is clear and on my chest. That's a great way to get a good voice sound in a live stream. I have the Rode VideoMic Me microphone. I have it just extended, TRRS. Of course, it is already a TRRS there. This is just an extension so that I can mount this on top of my Mevo Plus when I want to. You can also run a monitor, a headphone monitor out here so that you can know what sound you're getting if you're needing that kind of information as well. Another cord to connect the systems to different. Now this one is not a TRS to TRS. It has the extra on that end, so it's just another option to have there. Then I have the adapter that takes that TRRS back down to a TRS if I need it. And then finally, in this piece, I have the USB audio input converter. This is a great piece to have to plug USB audio into the Boost for whenever I'm using the Boost and want to run sound through the Mevo Plus like that. I'm going to flip over to the lower side of this little case here, and I'll go ahead and show the rest of my microphones set up. These are other pieces. This is, of course, a dead cat, a windscreen, and it fits around this little print that I made to hold the Video Mic Me. This simply goes in like so that it will hold that, and then this fits. So you can see that I have the Rode into the dead cat there that will allow a good solid audio signal even in the wind there. Verizon MiFi 7730i. That gives me the ability to have a relatively reliable connection. And so this is a piece that I went ahead and invested in, knowing that as I streamed baseball games and other outdoor events, I would need something that I could run all this data through. This one turns out to be valuable. It turns out to be really good. Verizon in my part of the world is the best carrier for data speeds. It gives me the best upload, and when I get decent reception, I'm going to have a 5 to 8 megabit per second upload speed, so I can get a good solid stream going out using this little MiFi here. It's turned out to be a valuable piece of the setup that I have. So connected to, I'll run a speed test right quick, and we'll see what kind of upload speed we're getting. I noticed that I only have a couple of bars on the MiFi, and now the upload speed is showing that pretty consistent 5+ megabits per second upload. I would stream at 720 here. I could squeeze a 1080 out of it because you only need 5.9 for the Mevo on 1080, but for it to be that close, anytime it would drop, I would get a freeze. So that's a pretty good representation of what you get using that MiFi 7730 through Verizon. I'll set this out of the way. So the next thing that I would show you is my cameras. Now this would be the Mevo Plus. Obviously it's not the Plus. This is just a case that I keep that Mevo Plus in, and so that would be this piece of it. This would be the Mevo Start. I have both of those cameras, and again, not in there. I'm using that one today. This would be the Boost case, so that I would have the battery. Now the Boost plus the Mevo Plus is about a 10-hour package whenever you have the two of those connected. And of course the Boost gives you the ability to run Ethernet wired connection in. It also gives you the ability to run sound in to this little unit. And I prefer this to be my main camera when I'm streaming baseball games because of the field of view. It has a wider field of view than the Mevo Start, and you have a 4K sensor. Now you don't stream in 4K, I get that, but you do start with a higher quality sensor, and I know that its default zoom is 3 times. The Mevo Start default zoom is 2.3 times. So when you go to zoom in from behind the backstop, mounted to a fence, right? When you go to zoom in, you get 3x zoom instead of 2.3x zoom, and you do get a better picture from this one. Now, when Mevo's multicam app comes out, it's going to give the option of running both of those cameras, or up to 3 cameras all at the same time, and so I'll be able to use that Start as a second shot and enjoy that as well. Other thing that I keep in this particular case is a couple of lights. Now, light is something that is hard to control, and if you're in an outdoor space, if you're in a mobile setting, you sometimes need the ability to throw some more light. These are just a couple of cheap lights. I've highlighted them in another video. You can go and look at those if you want. I printed some light filters for these in different colors so that I can have a little bit of a choice there, and that's just an inexpensive way to continue that particular upgrade in order to have a better stream, even in a place that's not completely controllable. And I've shown you this one before. It's a tripod that I use. Easy to carry. It fits in my backpack. It folds up and comes apart. it's probably about 48 to 52 inches tall when it's extended. So it's a decent seated height. I'm a little over 6 foot, so it's a little bit short for me when I'm standing all the way up. But it's a handy tripod that I really enjoy. This one as well. Both of them convert to monopods. You can take the legs off. You can zip tie them to a fence and use them, or to a fence post, to the pole, and use them for any view that you want to get. The last piece that I keep in my mobile kit, or it's actually in my backpack, not in my kit, is a battery. I believe that having a battery when you're going to be gone all day, using battery operated equipment is something that is absolutely necessary. So I keep about a 20,000 amp hour battery that I can use to recharge both my cameras. I can recharge the wireless transmitters the wireless receivers that I have. I can recharge my cameras. I can recharge my Saramonic Blink 500 or my Rode Wireless Go with that. So I can recharge my lights as well. So having that battery is another piece that is absolutely valuable to the live stream. Live streaming in a mobile setting where things are much less controllable is a challenge, but it doesn't have to be horribly expensive. The kit that I have shown you today is probably going to cost, let's add it up right quick. Those two lights is a total of $30. The cases cost me about 75 cents because I printed them. Now there was an investment to print them, granted, but that's not a significant investment there. Back on the other side, this little Giotto cost about $8 if I remember right. The cords came with the pieces. Charging cords came with the Saramonic or the Rode Wireless Go. I forget which one. The Rode Video Mic Me was a $40 purchase back a few years ago. It's not the same price anymore, and it's not the best of their wireless microphones, but it can be picked up relatively inexpensively. The USB audio adapter was another $3 or $4. The adapter here for USB-C to TRRS was a $12 or $14 purchase on Amazon. All of this came in one kit. It was $275 or so maybe for this system, the Saramonic Blink 500. The SD cards, 32 gig SD card right now is about $5. If you buy them in a 5-pack, they're about $5 a piece. So that's not an expensive piece of the puzzle. The tripods that I have shown you each cost in the teens, $15, $17, $18, something like that. And the biggest part of the investment, of course, is the camera. And so I have the Mevo Start. I bought it when it first came out as beta, and so I got it for $100 off the price that it is right now. But then I also have the Mevo Plus, and like I said, I like that one to be my main camera when I'm streaming baseball games. And I picked this particular one up for $250. A fella on one of our forums, one of our Facebook groups, was selling it, and so that's what I picked it up for. That's not the price of it bought from Mevo or from B&H or from Adorama, but it is sometimes you can pick one up for a much better deal than what they were selling for when they were new. So the total cost there is going to be just $600 or so, $700 maybe, depending on what all the equipment you choose to buy, or how expensive you choose to make your lights, or how many different microphones that you choose to use. But it's not something that costs the multiple $1,000s. The Mevo, the MiFi Verizon hotspot was a purchase that I picked up used on eBay. It does require a subscription. It cost me $20 a month to keep that subscription, and so there are some ongoing costs if you're going to use some of these pieces. But other than that, this becomes something that I can invest in my community as I stream kids' baseball games. I can invest in my own job as I preach at the church where I'm a pastor, and so it's something that is, I feel, a good, worthy investment. And hopefully this has been a way for you to be able to see that it's something that's doable even for you. If this video has been helpful for you, hit that like button. If the channel's been helpful for you, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it.